work together. Who doesn't? Who told the demon race to move a bit too much these days? If we don't make a move and warn them, they'll really think that the land of immortals and demons is theirs to call the shots. For a while, people who knew and didn't know each other were all over the place. It was only after more than half an hour had passed and several people had come one after another that these people quieted down. It looks like pretty much everyone who came is here. The leader nodded in satisfaction after taking a head count of the number of people here. Speak. What is it that requires the gathering of so many of your fellow travelers to converge together for battle? At this point someone stepped forward and asked. You all know that the demon race has been overly active recently and wiped out the demon race, right? Recently, after a discussion between those above us, the demon race has been too dazzling, making most cultivators think that they are the most powerful, causing numerous cultivators to fall into the arms of the demon race. In order to cut off these winds and try to get more cultivators to return to the human race, so we're going to do a big operation to behead the face of a recently emerged demon emperor, deter the cultivators of the immortal and demon realm, and let them know that the human race is still in charge here. The 5 elements old Taoist from the Heaven Mending Pavilion spoke. Is there a need for so many of my fellow disciples to step in for something like this? A cultivator opened his mouth in disbelief and asked. Each of the cultivators gathered here had at least a heaven realm cultivation, and the leading 3 of them were even at the mortalization realm. Such a lineup is just enough to capture a city, right? For this operation, the above requires only success and no failure. As long as you guarantee that the operation will definitely be completed. You can also not go. Old Taoist 5 elements coldly stared at the person who opened his mouth. A pair of triangular eyes contained a cold color. The man was stared at, and for a moment he was only able to heave back, not daring to say any more. Does anyone else have any objections? Old Taoist 5 elements asked as he turned his head to look at the crowd below. The crowd below originally wanted to take some benefits, but when they saw how overbearing Old Tao of the 5 elements was, and how he took the Holy Land out as his backing, they didn't dare to say anything more at that moment. I'm surprised no one has any other questions. So let's get going. Old Taoist 5 elements was satisfied with the attitude of these cultivators. Although they had 3 transformation mortal realm cultivators acting together here, the odds were that they wouldn't need these people to make a move. But with these as cover, it was much easier for them to move around. So although he felt that these people were a liability, he didn't say much. At that moment, more than a dozen figures scattered and flew rapidly in the direction where Tongzhou was located. Here it is, my lord. A guard ran in and said to Chu Feng, Chao Qian, let's go. Let's go to this baptism. Chu Feng came back from his cultivation state and said to Chao Qian, it was a complete lack of time, and 2 days went by in a blink of an eye. He hadn't even managed to get started with the little 5 elements sword technique. At most, he had entered the door of the Sankai sword. The small 5 elements void sword had 3 levels, which were the 3 talents sword, and the 4 elements sword. Only after learning this would one be able to truly practice the little 5 elements void sword. But even the power of the 3 talents sword was used to hold a spirit realm cultivator down and beat him up. However, being powerful also had an extremely high price, and that was that it was extremely difficult to cultivate. Just as Chu Feng had the talent of divine thought in him, right now he was only barely able to get started. And that was only because he had a physique bonus to be able to be so fast. If it were anyone else, it would be a problem to cultivate. After all, the cultivation speed of a 5 spirit root was notoriously slow. Being able to break through to the spirit realm in one's lifetime was already heaven-defying. Only the 5 spirit roots are the most suitable for this technique, with the effect of addition. Let's hope there's something to increase enlightenment in there. Otherwise it's going to be impossible to successfully cultivate this sword technique avatar in a short period of time. After lamenting a sentence, Chu Feng followed Chao Qian to the outside of a palace. My lord, let's go and take some rest first. The people on the demon race's side haven't converged yet. We don't have to wait around. Saying that, Chao Qian led Chu Feng toward the back. That's a heck of a lot of corruption. Looking at the large hall in front of him that was equipped with a high-level spirit gathering array and a luxurious space, Chu Feng could not help but sigh. Having a background, one was truly able to do whatever they wanted. Everything has been prepared by others. The people at the top just enjoy themselves. In the old days he would have raged about the corruption and waste. Well, now, it's so fragrant. Go out for a walk. I haven't seen a real big cultivation city yet. After arranging things, Chu Feng said to Chao Qian, I'm familiar with this Tongzhou. Your Excellency, just follow me. Chao Qian said to Chu Feng with a smile. When this place was still the seat of the demon race, she had been sent by the demon emperor to come over here to practice, grow in experience and insight. Now that I'm back over here, although the changes are great, but for a big cultivation city, there are usually not many changes. By the way, my lord, do you want to come over here and buy something? Or take a tour? Coquette. who was leading the way, turned around and asked playfully, "Well, find something that can be bought to enhance enlightenment." Chu Feng thought for a moment and said directly, "Enhanced enlightenment is an extremely needed item these days." It was really the fact that it was too difficult to comprehend the ancient era's techniques, and the cultivation process was also extremely difficult. These things are not easy to find. It's a good thing that Gongzi's strength is still relatively low and has used very few treasures. There is a treasure right here in Tongzhou City called Spirit Dream Tea, which is capable of briefly boosting the user's enlightenment by 50%, and is a companion to the Blood Vine clan, a demon race here. The Blood Vine clan relied on this kind of treasure before, and operated this Tongzhou City into a number of large cities in the vicinity, earning an extremely large amount of treasures for their clan. Xiao Qian raised her head and smiled as she explained a type of tea to Chu Feng. "Okay, just find it first." As soon as he heard that this treasure was so good, Chu Feng could not wait to go over and purchase it. This thing was able to be purchased a little bit before, but it's not easy to find it after our demon clan wiped out the demon clan recently, Coquette said with a slight frown. "However, this is something for other people. For the male, finding these things is still quite simple." Xiao Qian's words changed, and her originally tightly wrinkled brow stretched. After these words, Chu Feng's mood could be described as upside down and repeated, one up and one down, making it extremely tense. Now steeped in Xiao Qian's smile, he instantly understood that this Xiao Qian was playing a trick on himself. However, he understood that this was Xiao Qian's effort to get along with himself, and he was not angry in his heart, but outwardly feigning great fury and pretending to be angry. He said, "Good, Xiao Qian, you even learned to tease Gongzi me. See if I don't catch you up and beat you up." Said. The hand movement does not stop, quickly chased after Xiao Qian and went, then chased then raised his hand, pretending to hit the appearance of people. Hey, where is it? The prince is wrong about me. I'm merely speaking a fact, Coquette defended as she ran. The two of them just hot-footed it down the street and chased it, but no one was using spiritual power. Instead it was like a team of mortals making a racket. The pedestrians on the road, seeing that Chu Feng and his two men were so handsome and had a heavy and solid aura, did not dare to say anything more. It seems like there's another stream of people in front of us preparing to strike at him. How many people did this kid offend? At a position around 200 paces behind Chu Feng, a person wearing dark green robes with a basalt iron mask on his face looked in astonishment at the noisy Chu Feng too in front of him. Amazing up, he himself was still thinking about how he should do it, eradicate it and finish the job. Who knew that this guy was a meat and potatoes guy and that there was this guy ready to take a shot at him? Let's see first, if the other side can get it, then I'll be able to complete the mission without having to do anything. The man in the basalt iron mask pondered for a moment before finally making his intentions, and then his figure flickered and disappeared in place. On the other side, several figures converged in an inn, their afterimages scanning Chu Feng's direction. The look that passed through his eyes was also astonished and uncertain. How do you think this little white boy has attracted so much trouble? The remnants of the demon race, and the people of the demon race are all following him, and looking at their appearance. It seems like none of them are good, and all of them want to take his life in general? Old Taoist 5 Elements asked as he looked at the woman leisurely sipping a small cup of tea in front of him. This woman had a delicate face, a plump body, and exuded a mature flavor, and her laid-back look adds to its own charm. Unfortunately, the two people around them, one was a cultivator who didn't go near women, and the other one was sword-obsessed, not appreciating the view in the slightest. What else can it be? The only thing is that too many people can't see this guy game too much. So, said the flirty woman lazily, one sword. What do you think? Old Taoist 5 Elements had a headache as he looked at the two people in front of him. Both of these men were in a state of disorientation, without the slightest bit of attitude to go out on a mission, thinking without inquiring about any intelligence, just waiting for him to do it. Now that he couldn't figure these things out himself for a while, he could only count on the other side. The man named One Sword, holding a long sword as if it were his favorite maiden, said without lifting his head, "Whatever this guy's problem is, no matter what, he's just a little guy with a spirit realm cultivation. It's not a matter of a handful for such a large group of us to make a move to cut him down." This flat tone could be said to have caused the 5 Elements old Tao to freeze for a moment. Also, recalling Chu Feng's cultivation level, for a moment, old Taoist 5 Elements himself wanted to laugh. At this cultivation level they would be able to smash it to pieces with a single palm strike from any random person. This is it. Steeply, Xiao Qian, who was running in front of her, stopped and pointed at the palace-like building in front of her. "Caught you. See if I don't punish you, my lord." Chu Feng, who had chased after her, pretended not to have heard her words, but instead caught her and teased. "Well, it's Xiao Qian's fault. How would Gongzi punish me? How about I kiss Gongzi?" Caught in the act, Xiao Qian immediately cooperated. with a pitiful look on his face. Chu Feng could be said to be eating out of his hand when he looked at him. However, as soon as he thought of Tang Shishir, Chu Feng's heart immediately calmed down, and with a violent send of his hands, he directly released Xiao Qian's hands. The face said with some embarrassment, "This, requirements will come later, and by the way, you can just pay for me later." Suddenly, as if he had thought of something, Chu Feng hurriedly said, "Okay." When Xiao Qian heard this request, she replied with a grimace. Although she agreed on the surface, her heart was extremely grumpy. "Gongzi Gongzi, as long as you take Xiao Qian down, all the things on Xiao Qian's body are still not yours? Really? Go!" Fear of Xiao Qian behind the hole out of what mouth. Chu Feng hastily pulled her forward to step in. After Chu Feng stepped in, he saw a wide array of items, arranged in different categories in the hall. Just like those stores selling jewelry inside the modern society, it looks extremely formal. At this moment, upon seeing someone come in, a teenage girl-like salesperson immediately ran up and asked, "This fellow Daoist, do you need anything to buy anything?" Chu Feng spoke directly. "Do you have any spirit dream tea to buy here? We'll take as much as there is." For such a treasure, he was more than welcome. Upon hearing Chu Feng's request, the young girl's face turned difficult. End of chapter. Chapter 138 Attacks. Chapter 138 Attacks. What's wrong? Chu Feng looked at her difficult face and directly inquired. "There is, but it is this price," said the young girl with extreme gravity. With those words, Chu Feng immediately understood the meaning. It was afraid that they didn't have enough money. "It's going to be a big deal. Xiao Qian, have you brought enough spirit stones?" Chu Feng turned back to inquire. 1,000,000 spirit stones. Xiao Qian smiled faintly while unfolding her heaven realm cultivation. Instantly, the entire 100 treasures building shook. The next moment a shopkeeper-like cultivator rushed out. Holding his fist, a few apologies said, "Fellow Taoists, I apologize here. It's because of the poor hospitality on our side. I wonder what you need." As soon as the shopkeeper came up, he directly apologized while inquiring about the intentions of Chu Feng and the others. "You go back first." At the same time, he pulled the young girl back. As for the right or wrong of the matter, it didn't seem so important to him. But this is the rule of the immortal and demon continent. The strongest is honored. "Take us into the box," Xiao Qian said flatly. As for the young girl, she would not say anything. After all, these are the rules inside their store. "All right, two fellow Taoists, please go inside." The shopkeeper was extremely polite and invited the two inside. "You recognize this, right?" Once inside, Xiao Qian took out a black half-circle plum token. This was the token that represented the demon emperor within the demon clan. This token Chu Feng also had, only it was better than Xiao Qian's. There was also a circle of black and gold patterns on the top edge. It looked extremely expensive. The shopkeeper's face changed when he saw this token, and he immediately knelt down on one knee and said respectfully, "Dark Demon Guard by E pays his respects to the Supreme Envoy." Hearing those words, Chu Feng realized that this store was originally run by the demon race. He also realized why Xiao Qian said that there would definitely be spirit dream tea for sale here. "All right, bring out all the top-grade spiritual dream tea to me. We'll take all of them, as well as anything that can enhance enlightenment," Xiao Qian directly said. "Yes, Upper Ambassador." The shopkeeper immediately responded and ran out without even asking for a reason. Curious? Looking at Chu Feng on one side, Xiao Qian was like a little girl who took out her own proud things and offered them to her favorite person, extremely excitedly handing them up. And then without waiting for Chu Feng to continue speaking, he explained for Chu Feng, "This store is the hidden hand that the demon race has left behind over here. And now that we've brought down the demon race, there's no need to continue lurking like we did before. And with your status, it's perfectly adequate to activate these hidden hands. Anything you need, you'll be able to take it right here." Xiao Qian introduced the origins of this store while smiling and explaining for Chu Feng, "In that case, go find a little talisman for me later." After thinking for a while, Chu Feng opened his mouth and said, there was no shortage of regular moves on his hands now, but there were very few means of hammering away. Instead of going out and buying them, you can just get them here. Most importantly, if you take it here, the high-level talismans that are not normally displayed in stores will also be taken out. As for other places, it is unlikely to find such a thing. These are all top-grade spirit dream teas. Each one is capable of helping spirit realm cultivators achieve 50% enlightenment for an hour. As for the very best ones, they can help Xian realm increase their enlightenment by 50%. Each grade can only be used 3 times, and after 3 times, it will have no effect. The shopkeeper will 2 boxes that Xiao Qian introduced. "In that case, take 5 of each for me. Are there any other enlightenment items?" Chu Feng, who had received this information, had a slightly lost expression on his face, because it seems a bit out of line with his views. If only he could use them infinitely, he would totally just be able to use these spirit dream teas infinitely. Unfortunately, yes, this is the Bodhi leaf, which can help the user greatly increase their enlightenment, as well as this 10,000 years cold ice marrow, which is also an item that can increase enlightenment.